Who had the better first two games, Dak or Wentz?
This is a great question. Who came up with this question?
Be objective.
Be objective. Joy, you came up with this question. I know it. I'm going to give you credit for it.
Sure.
Way to go. This is a close call for me. But I am going to go Dak Prescott, not because I am a Dallas Cowboy fan, but because I am going to be objective and tell you and make a very strong case that you will not be able to defend against, that Dak clearly has had the higher degree of difficulty because he's faced two much tougher opponents than Carson Wentz has. But before I get into that, I want to say Carson Wentz has been shockingly good. I had no idea what to expect. I saw the highlights from North Dakota State. I did not watch any of the games he played in college. And my God, he has been completely comfortable from the start. He's accurate, he's mobile, he's tough, he's in command. He's 6'5", 240 pounds, and looks like he plays much smaller than that. He's big, but plays small, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
I hate to admit this publicly, but the Philadelphia Eagles have found a long-term solution at quarterback. Now, let's be objective about this. His first two opponents have been, number one, the worst team in pro football, the Cleveland Browns, and that was at home in Philadelphia. Number two opponent was, after what I saw last night, I think we were looking at the second worst team in pro football in the Chicago Bears. They are rebuilding. They are injury ravaged. They are not the Bears of old or new, whatever. They just look like a disaster. And I'm going to point out that the Chicago Bears are 1-8 in their last 9 home games. Can you believe that? At Soldier Field, they're 1-8 in their last 9. So I'm going to make the case that they're the second worst team in pro football, even though I fear making that case because my Cowboys have to deal with them Sunday, and I don't want to jinx my Cowboys or give any bulletin board fodder to the Chicago Bears. But meanwhile, speaking of my Cowboys, Dak Prescott has had to face the team that you picked to win the division, the New York Football Giants, with their beefed-up defense, and it is much better, and Eli Manning and Odell Beckham Jr. That was game number 1.
And what happened?
Well, he lost 20-19 because Terrence Williams failed to run out of bounds and give him a field goal. But he played his behind off, and he committed no turnovers in either of the games, played well enough to win both. And then speaking of the second game, he went on the road against a division rival, the arch rival, the defending division champion in Washington. It was yet another nip-tuck, back-and-forth, tug-of-war type of game. And late in the game, as Joy pointed out, Dak Prescott led an 80-yard, 11-play, game-winning drive featuring converting a 3rd and 11 at Washington's 24 with a 12-yard strike to a guy you probably call Measly Beasley. Little Cole Beasley, Measly Beasley. Isn't that how you've been referring to him?
No.
Measly Beasley. And Measly caught it over by the sideline, and it's a first down, and Dak drives the ball into the end zone, and here we are. We're looking at a QBR that day of 88 at Washington. That was the 4th best QBR in the National Football League. So Dak has had QBRs of 88 and an overall of 76 to Carson Wentz's 63 overall QBR in the 2 games. 76 to 63. Dak has thrown for 227 and 292, so both games in the 200s. Carson Wentz threw 278 against the Cleveland Browns, but last night, 190. It was a lot of dinking and dunking. They both had big drops. Obviously, my man from Vanderbilt, Jordan Matthews, dropped a touchdown pass in his hands last night, just as Des Bryant dropped a touchdown pass in the opener against your New York Football Giants. So, on degree of difficulty, I have closed the case that Dak Prescott has had the best first 2 games.
Degree of difficulty. Are we platform diving? Are we doing gymnastics? I didn't know degree of difficulty came in
playing quarterback in the National Football League.
I agree with you. They are very close. The numbers are very similar. 2-0 versus 1-1. And I like Carson Wentz's ability to throw the football down the field. They have entrusted him to throw the football down the field. And as you mentioned, your guy from Vanderbilt, if we could just keep the Philly receivers hands out of the Butterfingers cookie jar, candy jar, excuse me, we would be a lot better because we saw them drop 2 touchdowns last night. Not 1, but 2. Money throws, Skip. Big time, right before the half to Matthews, and then in the third quarter, Aguilar dropped another one. He's big. He's as you mentioned, 6'5", 240. He's very mobile. I didn't know a whole lot about him. I only saw him one time, and that was in the national championship game. But if this is any indication, there have been 4 Division I AA quarterbacks, FCS now, drafted in the first round. Doug Williams, Phil Simms, Steve McNair, rest his soul, and Joe Flacco. All 4 have played in a Super Bowl. 3 of the 4 has won a Super Bowl. 3 of the 4 has been Super Bowl MVPs.
Okay.
So he's in very, very good company.
Okay, does that project for you? Is that not an apple to oranges? I don't know what that has to do with
I
him.
like the fact that he plays in the NFC East against your Cowboys. You got a banged-up Tony Romo, who Jerry Jones is hell-bent on getting him back in there as soon as he possibly can, because he wants to look like the guy. I told you Tony Romo can do it. Tony Romo is our guy. We like Tony. We like Dak. He has it now.
Yeah.
He has it. But I like Tony Romo. He's going to get him back in the ball game. So I like Carson Wentz playing in this division. The only person he has to worry about is Eli. We already know third cousins can't get it done. And now he got a banged up, beat up, old jalopy Tony Romo and Dak Prescott. So when are they going to let Dak Prescott get in there and throw the football down the field? As you like to say, he's dinking and dunking right now, and he threw a 12-yard out to Measly Beasley. All that be as it may.
That's a good nickname for you, right?
No,
You can use that.
You use that.
He's Measly Beasley.
I called him Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley.
Yeah, you call him Cole Slaw is what you call him.
Whoa, Skip.
You've been dissing him all week. Come on now.
Hold up. I thought what happened in our meeting room stayed in there.
I think you've been doing it on the air. I think we got it on tape.
Let me find out you snowed and you got tape messages.
Yeah, I got tape. I got undisputed tape. National TV
What's being
tape.
discussed in our meeting. But when you just look at the numbers, Skip, I think that I agree with you. And Cleveland is going to be kicking themselves in the butt for years to come.
That is true.
They passed on this kid, because I don't care how many picks you get or how many picks you have. If you don't have that guy, nothing else matters. Philly has found 2 games. I know it's 2 games, and I don't say, well, hey, this guy's going to the Hall of Fame. But looking at him and the way he plays and the poise in which he plays with, they found their quarterback. And all things being equal, I'm going to take 2-0 against 1-1. I give the edge to Carson.
Did Dak play well enough to win game 1 against your Giants? Did he play well enough?
I played the same numbers. I played 6 numbers in the Powerball, and I didn't win the lottery. The question of the matter is simple as this.
Were your numbers good enough to win the Powerball?
They weren't.
No, they weren't.
They
weren't the right numbers.
Exactly. Did I have 21 points?
Did Dak
to the
play
Giants'
well
20?
enough to win game 1 against the Giants? Yes, he did.
Not. No, he did not.
You know it, and I know it. And speaking of big drops, Dez dropped one in the end zone. Cole Beasley dropped one at the 2-yard line that would have been a touchdown.
Beasley dropped a pass?
He dropped a pass in the first drive of the game that would have set the tone at Jerry World. So I am looking at a quarterback who has a higher degree of difficulty even in his own locker room, because the beauty of what happened to Carson Wentz is they traded Sam Bradford and they cleared the decks for Carson Wentz. They said, it's your football team. And by the way, Doug Peterson and Frank Reich, they can coach quarterbacks.
Yes.
We know that.
Yes.
So he's in a complete comfort zone with Chase Daniel as his big brother figure, not pushing him. It's clear Carson Wentz has already become the future and the present of the Philadelphia Eagles.
And rightfully so.
He has no threat at all, while Dak Prescott was asked yesterday, is it your team or Tony Romo's? You could say he gives the PC answer, which I liked. I appreciated the fact.
Oh, so you like people being PC, huh?
No, I like him just saying that it's Tony's team, because it is Tony's team.
You like him lying?
He's not lying.
Because he's lying.
You think he's lying?
Absolutely. That's his team.
Okay, well, maybe in his heart of hearts, he believes he can take it over. And if they win the next 4 games in a row, which I doubt they will be able to do, but if he pulls that off, it will become his team. It is already becoming his team, but it is still Tony Romo's team. Because I remind you, the last time Tony was healthy, he should have been the MVP of the league. You can't lose your job.
Skip.
What do you mean stop?
You keep
2 years ago, he lapped the whole field in QBR. 2 years ago, he had a better QBR than Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or Ben Roethlisberger, you name it.
Did he have a better record?
He was 12-4. I don't know.
So why did he have to go to Green Bay?
Okay. Well, okay. So they went to Green Bay, and did they win the game at
Did
Green Bay?
they have a better record?
They won the game at Green Bay, and it
Did they
got
have a better
stolen
record?
from them
No,
because
they
that
did
was
not.
a catch. Am I right?
No, it was not a catch.
What? You think it was a catch. Now you're lying to yourself.
Now this man
Okay.
sit up here on
All right.
national television
No.
and tell me what I think.
Okay, you know it was a catch. but
I
it's-
think Tony Romo had a good season, a great season
he had
in
a great
2014.
season. Yes, he did. Okay,
Aaron
that's the
Rodgers-
last time we saw him. Okay, so it's still his team. Right now, it's his team. I got that.
wait a
but
minute.
but my point is, Dak is still playing against Tony Romo. The specter of Tony Romo is looming over Dak's
You're talking
shoulder.
about him like he's Roger. You're talking about
No,
Tony
Roger
Romo
Staubach.
like he's Roger Staubach.
I covered Roger Staubach, and no, he's not. But
Okay.
he was pretty good and sometimes pretty great. So it is still his team, and he still has to deal with the fact that Tony is the returning starter. Carson Wentz has no pressure at all. He just gets to go out and throw it and wing it.
Everybody knows Tony. As soon as he gets back into the lineup,
Okay.
we've seen this story.
Okay.
We knows how it ends.
All right.
I've read the book. I've seen the movie twice.
So has Dak. He's seen the movie twice. He knows how it's going
Can I
to
ask you a
end.
question? Why can't Dak Prescott Moon win his next 4 games? Because every time you talk about it, oh, he's good. He's Warren Moon reincarnated. He's
I
going to
did
do
not
this.
say that. You're putting words in my mouth that are your words.
No.
Those are your words.
But you talk
I didn't say Warren Moon.
You talk about him like he's
I
Warren
did
Moon.
not. I
Yeah,
said he's been really special so far. I don't compare him to anybody because he's Dak Prescott.
He's 1-1.
Okay, but he should be 2-0. And
I
you
don't
know
care.
it, and I know it. It's okay. It's okay. So look,
I should have been a basketball player if my mom would have married a former athlete
Taller
that was
guy.
16.
Yeah, I
Right.
got you.
I should have been.
Yeah.
What are you in actuality?
okay,
What is the Dallas Cowboys record, please, if you don't mind me
it's
asking?
1-1.
Okay, what are the Philadelphia Eagles record, if you don't mind me asking?
They have played the
God,
Cleveland Browns and the
what?
Chicago Bears. It better be 2-0, or
Your
we
Honor,
wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Your
If
Honor.
they had lost to the Cleveland Browns, would we be talking about this?
Honor,
Are you
can
kidding
you
me?
instruct the witness to answer the question? What is the Eagles
I
record?
answered that, Your Honor. Your dishonor. Yeah. Okay, so look, here's what I'll tell you. I'll give you this much. If you want to do beauty contest, eye test, Carson Wentz looks like the purer passer to me than Dak
The
Prescott.
better quarterback to
No,
you
he
also.
does not.
Yes, he does, Skip.
As mobile as he is, he's not as mobile as Dak. He's not a better downfield runner than Dak. Dak did score a rushing touchdown the other day, and it was a thing
How
of
many?
beauty.
Okay, as the quarterback position, and just by the name itself, quarterback means you're supposed to throw touchdowns. So how many in 2 games have Dak Prescott thrown for?
None. No touchdowns. It's 2 games. Look at his QBR. Do you know QBR? It's the most telling quarterback stat at all. I gave it to you. 88 for Dak Prescott. I'm sorry, 76 overall is his QBR to 63. He was 88 in Washington. 76 to 63. What does that tell you? Who's played the better quarterback according to the best stat in all of football? Dak Prescott, by that stat, has played considerably better than Carson Wentz.
Well, let me tell you about the stats that you keep mentioning: the QBR and the completion percentage and passing yards and touch and INT. You know what that falls up under? Wins. Carson Wentz 2-0. Your quarterback 1-1 with all those stats up underneath.